Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desamos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality and I talk about personal and self-growth. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. It's a bit dark in the park, guys, so you may see some shadows in the video. I didn't come with my equipment. So listen, guys, I would like to talk about the trauma bond. Now, when we're talking about the trauma bond, we're talking about that emotional attachment that keeps you stuck with the narcissist. So a lot of you guys who have been with the narcissist, you will notice that inability to release those individuals emotionally forever, permanently. That's because you are entangled with them in some kind of something that they call a trauma bond. It will not really matter what you try to do. It will not matter how much you try to fight, where you try to go. You can move away kilometers away from them, miles away from them. You will always have that thing that you are always attached to them. You will feel that you're emotionally still attached to those individuals. So your heart will tell you that they are toxic, they are dangerous for you, but at the same time, you will also realize you cannot release them and you cannot let them go. Now, I've been there. You can be trauma bonded by your friend. You can be trauma bonded by your partners, wives and husbands. You can also be trauma bonded by your friends. Even sometimes by your bosses, the people that you work for, if they're your bosses. If you're talking about the narcissists and they're your bosses. So the trauma bond can come in so many ways whereby it is almost going to be unbelievable, but you cannot release those individuals emotionally. So you cannot move on from them. Now, over the years, I used to be entangled with a narcissist back in the days. It was very difficult, ladies and gentlemen. It was very difficult, not only for me, but also for the decisions that I decided to take for my life. I thought that living with a narcissist was everything. So it's like, you just pack up your bags and you leave the vicinity, and that was it. But I noticed it was never the end of it. Most of the times I recognized that there was some kind of a bond. There was this kind of attachment that I didn't really know. However toxic I knew these individuals were, it was very, very difficult for me to release and let those individuals go. So for example, you're away from them, but you keep on missing them. So you're looking at your phones, you're expecting a message, you're hoping that they're going to contact you, they're going to call you. But at the same time, when you get contact with them, the abuse starts all over again, and you go back through the same cycles that you've always been over a good number of years. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the end of it all. When you're talking about the trauma bond, there is ways that you can break the trauma bond. Now, I've talked about some of these things before in my videos, the ways that you can heal and you can break out of a trauma bond. I've talked about some of those things before. But in this video, I would like to help you guys understand the spiritual way you can break out of a trauma bond. Now, this is going to require you a lot of practice. Number one, you're going to be patient with yourself. You're going to try to practice this over the days, or let's say over the weeks, and until your brain accepts this thing to be true. Because you see, the whole thing of this entanglement, these narcissistic entanglements, everything starts with the brain. So those individuals, they bypass your conscious brain and they target your unconscious brain. So the very moment they put that program into your unconscious brain, that is exactly what initiates those kind of trauma bonds. Because your unconscious brain does not understand the difference between real and fake. So sometimes you are going to be with a fake individual, a very toxic individual, and your brain cannot understand. Your conscious brain is telling you those individuals are fake and they're very dangerous and they're very toxic. But at the same time, Your unconscious brain does not recognize this pattern. So it just accepts whatever it is going on with the narcissist. So it just accepts those individuals in that position for who they are. Now, this is what you're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you some words you can say and some things you can speak. And you're going to replace the individual that you're dealing with. If it's your parent, you're going to mention their name. If it's your partner, you're going to mention their name. If it's your friend or your boss, you will always do the same thing. Number one, you come out in a place like this. I've told you guys, in the early days of my healing journey, this was the place I used to come. So it was the place that I used to come to activate my healing process. I used to come here in those days, early days. I would spend time alone here, walk around. I would ground myself. I would remove my shoes. I would walk around. So you're going to come around in a place like this. If you live on the beach, you're going to go and take off your shoes and have a very nice, smooth walk on the beach, along the beach. Make sure that your feet touch the ground. And what you're going to do now, you're going to speak out loud. So what are you going to say? Hello, Mrs. or Mr. So-and-so. You're going to put their name at the end of that sentence. Hello, Mr. Listen to guys, this one, very important. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so and so. Now you're going to put their name on the end of that sentence, at the end of the sentence. And you're going to say, you're going to repeat these words. I have loved you authentically. I have always wished the best for you. You have always been a part of me for such and such years, depending on how long you've been with those individuals. If they're your parents, you may say, you have always been a part of me, and I have always been a part of you for 10 years or for 20 years, whatever it is. You mention the name, the number of years in the sentence. But at this moment, I understand and I recognize. At this moment, I understand and I recognize this partnership between me and you is not good for my highest good. Is not for my highest good. The partnership between me and you is not healthy for my highest good. And from today onwards, I'm releasing you out of my soul. And I'm breaking any soul contract that I've had with you over the years. I am releasing you out of my soul, out of my mind, out of my energy field. And I'm allowing the soul contract between me and you to break permanently. I forgive myself for getting involved with your energy. I forgive myself for the mistakes I've done over the years. And I forgive myself for having gotten involved with you in some kind of a way. And from this day forwards, I claim my peace. I claim my freedom. And I understand and I recognize you are not going to be a part of me as I move along with my life. I decree that the soul contract between me and you is broken permanently. I release you into the universe. And I release myself out of this entanglement and out of this relationship. And I decree that I'm free from today. Now you're going to say, this is some kind of a prayer. It's something you're going to use your mouth. You're going to speak it into existence. You're going to speak it into reality. So you're going to speak like you mean it. You're going to speak like this whole thing depends on you. And now, you're going to release these words out into the universe. That's why I've told you, come out in the place where there's nature. Because when you're in the place where there's nature, the universe is listening to each and every single word you're saying. You're going to make sure you speak the things I've told you about, and you're going to repeat this practice for 21 days. You're going to come back each and every single day. So make it like a ritual. You have got to make it become a ritual whereby you come each and every single day in that same spot and you say those exact words that I've told you. You make it your routine for 21 days. Now, a time is going to come whereby your mind is going to start recording that, and your unconscious mind is going to start believing that it is actually what you're telling, what you're commanding into the universe is true. And that is exactly when you're going to notice the trauma bond eventually is going to start breaking between you and the narcissist. And of course, guys, you remember, always come around and tell me tell me how your journey has been. If this works for you, tell me how it is working for you. If it doesn't work for you, go back to my videos. I've already made videos before, ways that you can release a narcissist and ways that you can they can break out of a trauma bond with a narcissist. Guys, we have done it. I'm living testimony that these things is possible. It is possible to release a narcissist. Let nobody ever come around and tell you that you cannot release a narcissist. It is possible to release a narcissist, but you are going to put in the work. So your healing journey, the real healing journey I'm talking about, is going to start at that moment exactly when you break out of a trauma bond. That is exactly when you're going to start experiencing the real healing that you're supposed to have in your life. And of course, guys, you always know I love and appreciate your support. You can always book a session with me, guys, if you want to. You can always donate if you want to, support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you'll find it in the description section below. And until then, it's been lovely to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. Let me know how this works for you. And I'll catch you in my next one. Peace.